G'day everyone, welcome back to the ICC Jimbo channel. And in today's video, I'll be reviewing the Test, ODI and T20 International Series between Australia and the West Indies on home soil. Up the Aussies! The Test Series, Game 1, the Adelaide Test, Adelaide Oval. Australia won the toss and elected to bowl, as Pat Cummins believed any total could be chased down on this wicket. That during the Big Bash was a batter's paradise. But it's a different format of the sport, so you never know. Innings 1, West Indies. The first wicket to fall for the West Indies was Chandimal, putting them in an awkward position already. 1 for 14, that is. Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood dismantled the West Indies batting order, picking up 4 wickets each, with Mitchell Starc and Nathan Lyon picking up 2 wickets as well. The West Indies went out on 188 runs, which is just awful. Innings 1, Australia. Steve Smith has been promoted up the order after David Warner's retirement. Unfortunately for Smudge, his first time as an opener didn't go to plan as he went out for 12 runs. Marnus Labuschagne was soon to follow. But after a disappointing innings from Cameron Green, Travis Head came into bat and he had a magnificent innings, getting 119 runs off 134 deliveries. He wasn't even trying out there, and because of this, the Aussies got a score of 283 runs and are in an even stronger position to win. The tail end for the Aussies were kind of disappointing, but it really didn't matter when you got a score of 283 runs. Innings 2, West Indies. Hazlewood was the first to strike, getting Chandimal out on a golden duck. Brathwaite was soon to follow, going out on only 1 run. The West Indies were 2 for 1. Insane from the Aussies to put the West Indies in this position. 2 to 1 is absolutely mental. Hazlewood picked up another one shortly after that. The West Indies were in the mud and nothing could save them. Hazlewood got 5 wickets, 2 wickets from Starc and Lyon, and 1 wicket from Cam Green to put the West Indies all out for 120, meaning the Aussies only needed 26 runs to win. Innings 2, Australia. Steve Smith's 11 not out and Uzi's 9, before Uzi had to retire hurt. But it didn't matter as we won the match by 10 wickets in the first test, giving us a 1-0 lead and retaining the series against the West Indies. The Pink Ball Test. Brisbane, the Gabba. Innings 1, West Indies. Brathwaite for the West Indies was the first person to be dismissed at 4 runs by Josh Hazlewood, who has continued his amazing form from the Pakistan Test Series. Pat Cummins was the next wicket taker, dismissing Kirk McKenzie for 21 runs of 25 balls. This has put the West Indies in a horrible position as they were 2 for 42 off 13 overs. The pain continued as Starc claimed some more wickets, which got the West Indies all out for 311 after a decent effort from the West Indies tailenders, and the Aussies bowlers seemed to struggle against the tailenders on that day. Innings 1, Australia. Besides Uzi, Carey and Cummins, the batting innings was horrible, and we didn't look any good. We looked tired out there, as we declared on 9 for 289. For the first time in the series, we were actually not in front. In fact, we were actually behind. After a really disappointing innings. I'm really disappointed by this effort for this whole test in general, to be honest. Innings 2, the West Indies. The West Indies once again were reluctant to go out in the tail after some early wickets. Something really did seem off from Australia in this match, and it was proven again, as this time Australia needed 215 runs to win this match. Innings 2, Australia. Unfortunately for Australia, after a good partnership with Steve Smith and Cam Green, we just completely collapsed. Shamar Joseph destroyed Australia, and besides Steve Smith, the Aussies simply weren't good enough as we lost this game by 8 runs. But hats off to Shamar Joseph. He played a terrific game, and in the first innings he played terrifically, and in this innings he played even better. So he got deserving contracts in the IL T20, the IPL, and the PSL. Well done to that young lad, and hopefully he does well in the future. This game ties the series, but Australia retain the trophy for this series. So that was a good thing, I guess, but really disappointing test match here at the Gabba. ODI series, Game 1, MCG Melbourne. This is the first ODI match that the Aussies have played since the World Cup final victory against India back in November. But unlike that match, some of our major players decided to take a rest after a long test summer. Steve Smith took the captaincy reins for this series in replacement of Pat Cummins. Debutant Xavier Bartlett dominated with the ball, getting 2 early wickets and putting the West Indies in the mud. Bartlett got figures of 4 for 17 off 9 overs. Amazing effort from the young fella. poor batting from the West Indies and great efforts from Sean Abbott, Adam Zampa and Cam Green got the West Indies to a low score of 231 off 48 overs. Travis Head proved why he needed a break, going out on 4 runs. He looked extremely disinterested out there with his field errors during the match as well. Josh Inglis was the man who really secured this victory for the Aussies, as he treated this ODI match as a T20 international game, as he was smacking the ball around the park with 10 fours and 1 maximum. Unfortunately for Inglis, he went out on 65, but from there it was a cakewalk for the Aussies as Cam Green and Steve Smith steered the ship and got the Aussies home with 12 overs remaining with scores of 77 and 79 respectively. The Aussies won this game by 8 wickets to take a lead in this series. Game 2, Sydney SCG. Game 2 was very different from the first match as the Aussies were sent in to bat. Fraser McGurk went out on debut to a disappointing 10 runs, with Josh Inglis soon to follow on 9 runs. Cam Green only got 33 runs and Smudge went out for 5, but Matt Shaw and Sean Abbott were able to steer the Aussies around to get to 258 runs off 50 overs. Pretty disappointing innings to be completely honest. But the Aussie bowlers did us all proud as the West Indies crumbled to an awful 175 runs off 43 overs. Great bowling from Sean Abbott once again, as well as Josh Hazlewood and Will Sutherland on debut, handing us the victory as we won this game by 83 runs, and that means we have won this series. Game 3, Canberra Monica Oval. Xavier Bartlett returned to the XI and once again caused havoc, picking up another 4 wickets, only losing 21 runs in the process. Lance Morris and Adam Zampa helped Bartlett out as the West Indies played arguably their worst brand of cricket I have ever seen, going out for 86 runs after 24 overs. Insane! Think about it. Jake Fraser McGurk and Josh Inglis easily got us home with the totals of 41 off 18 off Fraser McGurk and 35 off 16 Inglis. Unfortunately, both of them departed, but fear not, Steve Smith got 6 off 3 to give us the quickest ODI victory on home soil ever as we win the series 3-0. T20 International Series, Game 1, Hobart, Blundstone Arena. Rich Marsh took the charge in this 3-game T20 series against the West Indies, since Pat Cummins is still taking a break. It was David Warner in Game 1 who led the charge, getting a rapid 70 of just 36 deliveries. Insane! With a little collapse in the middle. Tim David and Matthew Wade ended the first innings smoothly, with the Aussies getting 213 runs on the board. In the second innings, it was all Adam Zampa who stopped a high-flying Brandon King and Johnson Charles to get Australia home by 11 runs. Game 2, Adelaide Oval. In Game 2, Australia started poorly until Glenn Maxwell came into bat, and he scored a massive 120 not out off 55 deliveries in one of the greatest T20 international innings I've ever seen, proving Maxie's greatness in this sport. There was obviously nothing the West Indies could do to stop him, and it was 6 after 6. Fireworks at the Adelaide Oval as we got 241 runs. Great effort from Maxie. Marcus Stoinis and Spencer Johnson did their job with the ball to hand Australia a 34-run victory and the series. Game 3, Perth Optus Stadium. This game was all about Andre Russell. He smashed 71 runs off 29 deliveries and saved the West Indies from what looked like a disastrous start, getting the Windies to 220 runs. For the Aussies, besides Warner's amazing 81 runs and Tim David's 41 runs, it was an extremely disappointing batting effort as we fell short by 37 runs, but it didn't matter as we won the series 2-1. All in all, it was an enjoyable couple of series to watch, and I'm glad Australia won and retained all 3 of them. Thanks for watching, guys. Unfortunately, with Year 12 starting for me, I couldn't get this video out as soon as I would have hoped, which is a real shame. But once again, thanks for understanding, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!